Greetings and welcome to a quick Keen's guide. In this one we're going to look at skills in medieval Dynasty, and we're going to find out, is it really worth having the knowledge skills, the ones that bump up your experience? Because I had before thought that was the best move, and the answer may or may not surprise you. You may already know. A person in my comments made me double check my way of doing things. They said, well, are you sure about mathematically that this experience is worth it when I did the hunting video? And then I looked into it and I'm going, oh dear. I don't really think it is. So here we are in this particular playthrough. I have gone through most of the game and I'm high level. I've drank a potion of possibilities. So in this playthrough, I had the knowledge skills at the beginning. And for those who are newer to this, if you are new to the game, the knowledge skills give you bonus experience from activities, it says. That's the key thing. When you do a thing, in this case, chop down a tree, stake the sticks off the tree, or take the log, cut it so that there's logs from it. Those are the actions that give you experience. Extraction knowledge is chopping down trees and then striking it so that they remove the branches and you get feathers and sticks. And then the last strike is to separate into logs. You get experience for each of those. And by the way, the amount of experience you're getting for those, if it's a tree of any kind, once you fell it, you gain 2 experience points. When it's a maple tree, you're going to get 4 experience for separating the sticks and feathers, and then 4 more experience for separating it into logs. That's 4 and 4 and 2, so for you that's 10 experience per maple tree. If it's a spruce tree, you get 2 for felling it, and then you get 3 for the stick and feather part, and 3 for separating it into logs. So we're talking about 8 there. With a birch tree it's less, it's 2 for taking the sticks and feathers, and 2 for separating the logs, and 2 for felling it, so only 6 experience. You get more for felling the better trees, which is great. Now when you go mining for extraction values, you're going to get 2 for everything you do. It doesn't matter if it's a clay node, doesn't matter if it's not a clay node, it doesn't matter if it's a copper node, tin node, it doesn't matter what kind of node it is. It just matters that you are mining, and that's it. And then once the node is separated out, there you go, 2 experience points. Same thing for clay. Okay, here's where the math comes in. 5% of 2? That's not even worth talking about. 5% of 2 is nothing worth your time. The amount that you're going to get from this is so little in comparison to what you could get for these other skills. And that's where I've come to find this out, is that will I take extraction knowledge at times? I mean, if I don't have anything else to choose, sure, yeah, why not? But if I want to have a 5% chance of digging into clay pits and getting resources, yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. Why not? It's a 5% chance that I get real lucky and I end up with the silver earrings. I got 2 silver earrings one time, which was 1,000 gold. That's cool, and it's kind of fun and exciting. Is this going to help me out? I'm getting 2. At best, I'm getting 4 experience for taking down a maple tree and separating it out. 10% of 4 is going to give me 0.4, so 5% is 0.2, so 4.2 every time I chop. Will it pay off over the long run? Sure, but we're talking about a very long time before that pays off. And is it better than a skill that you can use right now? That's where things come in. Because the next thing I take is Master Destruction, because I will be rebuilding a lot. And from here, rather than spending my points on extraction knowledge, I can take Careful Miner. And now I'm getting more resources every time I mine a node inside of a mine, or every time I take a rock wall and I mine from it, or every time I go into a clay deposit. So this is worth it. And then taking Mule for more carrying capacity, yeah, I think I want that more than I want the extraction knowledge. That's in my opinion, and based upon my time playing through. Will it sometimes be worth having that knowledge skill? Sure. If you look at these 3 skills in hunting and you decide that you'd rather have steady hand, then good. The hunting knowledge is not going to do a lot for you. As far as how you gain skill points for hunting knowledge, it's killing prey, or it's killing an animal, and it's doing the skinning activity. And also what I've come to discover is that how you take down the animal matters when you start getting to bigger animals. For example, when I was taking down wolves, if I take down a wolf with a melee weapon, I get a small amount of experience. If I take down that same wolf, I got 3 experience taken down with an axe. If I take down that same wolf with a bow, I suddenly now have 8 experience points. That's a big jump. So if I take it down with a bow, I'm getting more experience. What I also noticed is that when you take down a bear with an axe or anything like that, you get 5 experience points. And now that counts for a spear too, by the way. When I took out a bow, 10 experience points. Same thing for Vicent. So when you're hunting, and by the way, it's only the killing shot that counts for the experience. So if you are planning on min-maxing this, and you were running around in your melee hunting, you finish the animal off with a bow, you're going to get more experience points. When we think about that 10 experience points, is this hunting knowledge worth it? Well, 10.5 versus 10, it's something. But is it a lot more? I could go punch a bunch of rabbits for a while and I've got more experience than this would have given me. And if I hunt a lot with a bow, maybe I do want steady hand. Or if I plan on doing some more sneaking around and hunting, maybe this is worth it. But if nothing else is worthwhile, why not? It's free experience. And then from here you can decide what you take. As far as hunting knowledge is concerned, or farming knowledge is concerned, I don't. This is a no-go for me at all. All the things that you do with farming are very low experience points per action, which means that I would rather get more crops. Why not? I'm going to use those, make money, and make more resources. I need that more than I need the experience. I'll gain farming skill over time if I want. Diplomacy knowledge, I'm starting to do the diplomat more often than not, just because it's nice to gain reputation points faster, so you can gain more villagers quicker and advance your village in a faster way. As far as diplomacy knowledge, you get 5 experience points for completing the quests from the storyboard, and you get 3 experience points for flirting successfully at the low flirt parts. So 5% of that, 10% of that, no, it's not really worth it at all. Survival knowledge, every single thing you do is 2 experience points that I found. So no, this is totally not worth it. It's 2 experience points per action. What, you might as well spend the points on something worthwhile. The 2 degrees temperature tolerance for me is more worthwhile because I swear my character never can stand summer no matter how little clothes he's wearing or how I get it right. And then lastly, as far as crafting knowledge is concerned, this is one where you are stuck. You will take one of these to start with, so you do the one that you plan on doing the most of. I tend to take crafting knowledge, even though I don't do a lot of work at smithies and workstations. I find myself at the smithy more often than not. And then from here, it's really just up to you. Obviously, handyman is a really good skill to have. And then for faster crafting, that's totally up to you, but I think synergy is the way to go. So we'll start and go in reverse order on what the skills I think are best for these different particular areas. Handyman is just a vital skill to have. You do want insulating values because you want to minimize the amount of firewood you're consuming. These knowledge skills, we've already been through that. As far as builder, lower durability loss of hammers, I don't take any of these things that lower durability loss. I don't have any trouble keeping my tools working, and I don't think you will either. As far as these are concerned, expertise, crafting faster, choose the one that you're going to do more often. If you're going to be the person in your village cooking, well then it'd be good to be the cooking expert. I end up going straight to this as quick as I can, so I go from crafting expertise to builder's trance because I build a lot and I don't want to be sitting around watching the screen of me building the whole time. So I tend to go here. And afterwards, it's really doesn't matter. I do go for building master just because you build a lot and you swing a lot, and with building trance you're swinging faster, so you're going to lose more stamina. I do still use potions to get through this one though. Obviously with this one, it's whatever you want up here. I take insensitive just because of temperature issues. Survival sense is really nice to have. I've done a comparison on strong as an oak versus solid as a rock, so I think you've already seen my work on this one, and you know that strong as an oak is simply awesome. It is the best. Survival is good. I think this is a solid one, and I come back to this one. I don't bother with that one. Water Dancer is kind of my round 3 if I don't want anything else, but Survivalist tends to be my go-to first. Athlete is a no-brainer for me. I think it's an immediate, max this thing out as quick as you can, because you do want to move a lot and you will run a lot. After that, it's maxing out Strong as an Oak for me, especially when I'm playing on a mode where I have to care about my hit points. And after that, it's totally up to me. I tend to not worry about food and water because you can take care of that with potions and foods. So Solid as a Rock becomes a big deal as you get into harder modes of the game and the animal's doing more damage, because it still helps. You have more hit points later. And then as far as the diplomacy tree is concerned, Diplomat is nice early in the game. It's not going to matter as much later when you max out. Empathy I don't tend to take, but it can be really fun to have. Barter is nice, just free money, right? The other one that's tricky here, 5% more for villagers, I think is definitely a worthwhile thing. It's worth having. It's just nice to have them produce more. Creative accounting can be good if you're concerned about it, but this is where I really live at. Castellian is the one for me. I want my villagers using less resources, so I have to do less maintenance. And then I just go back and I fill in from there. Lowering mood reduction isn't a big deal. You're probably not going to have trouble keeping your people happy. And lowering taxes, yeah, good to go. In the Oxbow, I haven't seen king challenges yet, so I don't bother with that. Farming knowledge, I mean, as you already heard, Skilled Farmer is good, but Village Whistleblower is the first one I want to go for. And then Skilled Rider I tend to go for right away, and Carrot and Stick is really my immediate go-to, since I tend to have a donkey, and I tend to use that donkey to help me extract things. After that, it's really handy to get faster movement on your steed, But if you're going to be a person who farms a lot and does a lot of work in the fields, then I think skilled farmer is a very easy choice. And then skilled orchardman is also a very easy choice as well. Nice to have. As far as hunting is concerned, you can tell it's my weakest one. I do a lot of hunting, yet the skill gains very slowly, so I don't tend to do a lot of in here. I do tracker, and then from there I like to be careful hunter because I want more resources. I tend to max this out as quick as I can get away with. You can... Sneaking, I don't tend to use sneaking. And I have used Trapping Master, but I didn't find it very valuable over time. You may find it valuable, and you may love using traps. Do it. Do your thing. And then as far as crossbow hunters are concerned, you want this one. If you're going to be a crossbow hunter, lock and load is your jam. Make sure you get right into it. If you're using the recurve like me, this skill doesn't mean anything. It doesn't need to be faster than 1 second. 1 second is real fast. Now, lastly, we get to extraction, which is, I think, a pretty clean and clear one. Master destruction, as soon as you can get it, is really big. And then careful miner is just what you need. The reason I talk about Careful Miner 2 here is to emphasize that Careful Miner stacks with Treasure Hunter. In other words, this gives you a bonus chance to get more resources, and that does seem to influence the chances of finding treasure. So with fully leveled up Careful Miner, I find more treasure more often. Not better, just more. After that, I always go for, I go for Mule before I finish out Careful Miner, and then from there, I tend to go straight into Miner's Trance because I do mine a lot, and I find that that's an action that I want to be done with quickly. I want to mine as many nodes as possible, as quick as possible. And then from there, it's totally up to y'all. Well, hey, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this has been helpful. I know that it can be a lot to choose from all these different skills, and it's very tempting to say, well, clearly gaining more experience is definitely the best. But keeping in mind that the number of skill points you gain for your different actions is very small. Even with diplomacy, when you're selling things, you get about 10% for selling, or you get about 10% experience per gold. So if you sold 1,000, you're going to get about 10. Or sorry, if you sell 500, you're going to get about 5. That's 1%. Let me math that. And that's not a lot of experience. Even when you're selling thousands, it's just not enough to make it worthwhile. So, that being the case, I just don't think that the knowledge skills are as worthwhile as they may have seemed to me initially too as a player. So if you're spending your points on these knowledges and you like it and it helps you out, that's good. Keep it up. But if you want to get more skills and make more use of them as you go, don't waste your time on them. You have to spend a lot to make sure you have the skill, and it takes away from something else. Take care, y'all. Until next time.